What is up, everybody? Monster Jam Fanatic here. We have not done a news video in quite some time, and I do think there is plenty enough to make a news video on. So today we're going to be going over mix 43 and 44 because yes, we already know what's going to be in both. I don't know how, but the Walmart website, I believe, out of all places, has photos of both. I've been finding these photos on Instagram and stuff, so we're going to get into series 43 first and then work our way up. As you guys saw at first, there was the zombie, and then we have this El Toro Loco. Obviously, neither of these are too exciting, but I promise you it gets better. Again, with the normal variants, we have Earthshaker. For some reason, 43 is going to have a lot of these just regular variants. Like, genuinely, dude, these are the most base models that I've ever seen in one case. There is a bunch of them. So we have that Gravedigger. And then here's something a little bit more exciting. Here's the Scooby-Doo. This one does kind of remind me of the one that we got in the double pack with the Mystery Machine back in 2019 with them teal wheels. So I could appreciate it. And obviously, no matter how normal or boring or whatever this truck looks, it's going to be sought after and hard to find. So yeah, Sparkle Smash, obviously next to JCB, I'd say are the two most sought after and most just demanded trucks right now. So obviously we're gonna need a Sparkle Smash. Now to an all new casting, or at least an all new name. This is called the Jambulance. I love the red, white, and blue on this. This is on the same body that we got the Ranger Rescue on. Me personally, I do prefer the colors on this one more. I was not too big on the weird like tealish color that we had on the Ranger Rescue. This is the chase piece to series 43. Continuing the training trucks, we have the El Toro Loco one. So this is the first training truck that we actually got in 2019. So technically this was the first ever chase piece for Spin Master Monster Jam, now revamped, and it does look a lot different. This one is definitely more orange. I remember the one in 2019 had a black roof and everything, so it kind of does the same thing that Megalodon does. The Megalodon had more blue on it than the one from 2019. These colors just seem to be a lot brighter, the trucks themselves, than their 2019 counterpart. And we're capping series 43 off with by far my favorite one, part of the Danger Diva series, probably the coolest truck in my opinion that's ever been out, released in the line, the pink Stone Crusher. I cannot believe we're getting this. I believe Monster Jam OCD is still to thank because he was still giving them suggestions when this was in development, I guess. And the story behind the pink Stone Crusher, yes, it is a real truck. In fact, I never saw it. I was very close to seeing it, but back in, I believe, 2014, I could be wrong, it could have been 2015 or 16. It was one of those years at Virginia Beach, which is a show I have gone to every year since, I believe, 2015 or so, maybe 14. Again, I don't remember. It's hard to remember every year. One of those years for Mother's Day, he ran this pink Stone Crusher only at the Sunday show. They have 4 shows, one Friday, 2 Saturdays, and then 1 Sunday. And only on the Sunday show that year, one of those years for Mother's Day, because it fell on the same day as Mother's Day that weekend, he ran this pink Stone Crusher body. So super cool truck. Obviously a local to me. He's only a couple hours up the road, so I'm very happy to see this truck. Honestly, other than the Stone Crusher, nothing too terribly exciting for that mix. We did get that new Jambulance like I showed you. Now I will say series 44 seems to have a better variety and less re-releases. So here's the first one. We'll get through this one, Dragon, and then here is the Megalodon. Both of these probably variants they've somehow never done before, something very slightly different that I'll still have to pick up because I collect every variant, but still something to note. You know, we have re-releases of those two trucks, and it's pretty much the same thing with this El Toro Loco, but obviously this is only the second time that we have gotten the new El Toro Loco, so nothing as tiring as the first two since it's still a fresh casting, I guess. And now we have made it to the biggest disappointment in the video. Everyone saw on the poster this year, I'm sure, that we were going to be getting an Avenger, but there was no render behind it, so we were all speculating and wondering what Avenger it was going to be. Well, now you can rest assured it is not going to be anything special, which is very, very unfortunate. It seems like every year almost we get a new Avenger. Whenever you see an Avenger on the poster, it's usually something different, but as you can see here, we are getting the same Avenger that we got in mix 43, which I believe this was the one from maybe Nashville. I can't really remember, guys. I really don't, but again, we have gotten this Avenger. We got it in 2023, the final mix of that year. I'm just really hoping that we're gonna get one maybe in a 2-pack like we did with the Global Avenger a couple years ago. I love seeing that. I want to see more independence, especially for 2-packs. I loved it. I love the black company they did. So yeah, I'm still I'm trying to be hopeful with getting an Avenger in the double packs, but unfortunately this is the Avenger we're getting this year. It is just a re-release. This one's kind of cool. This is the normal Thunder Roars. Obviously we got the series 35. It had a silver roll cage and everything. This one's more basic. It looks more like the version that we got in that $80 play set that I'm sure no one wanted to spend money on just for the truck. I did end up buying this off Whatnot for like $10. I didn't think they were gonna make another plain one like this. I'm sure there's a little difference in it, so I'll still get this too. But if you want a normal Thunder Roars and don't want to pay $80 for a play set, this is your opportunity. Gravedigger Trainer is your chase piece for Series 44. Now, I haven't compared them side by side yet, but this one does look very, very familiar, or similar, I should say, to the one that we got in 2019. Again, I haven't compared them, but looking at the one on my shelf and then looking at this photo, they're pretty close, unlike the other few that we have gotten. But I know some people are pretty torn about how they're redoing this. Honestly, I'm fine with it. I just saw so many people a year or two complaining about how they should bring back and revamp an old chase piece series like this with the right trucks, and then they go and do it this year, and I see there's still people complaining. So not everyone's always going to be satisfied, and I'm fine with it personally. And if you've seen any news, you've known about this truck. We're also getting a 124 of it. It's the Bailey Circuit. They probably used the Mohawk Warrior body, probably because they had so many lying around, I'm assuming. I don't know why they would really choose the Mohawk Warrior body, but I'm sure it was a really popular truck. They probably still had so many of these moldings because it was a popular truck at one point, clearly, just like Dragonoid and Soldier Fortune and all of them. So yeah, there's that. There's nothing much more to say about that. Very bright colors, that's all I gotta say. And here is where it gets exciting. So this is the new Classroom Crusher. It looks awesome, and for these last two, I actually have a few different angles of each of them. Get ready for these last two guys, because I mean, Classroom Crusher is a truck, like I said, with JCB and Sparkle Smash next to them. This is probably the most sought after truck right now, and once this is out, there's no doubt in my mind this will be the most sought after truck. I think this truck is awesome. This is actually a Monster Jam truck that I really enjoy. I've seen it a few times in person, probably 3 times this season. I love it. It's awesome in person. I'm very glad that we were able to get a diecast of it so soon. Usually it takes about a year or two to get a casting. I mean, look at JCB. Now I know they had to get the rights for the name and everything to release JCB. That's why it took a little longer. But knowing that we got this truck so early, it makes me really, really happy, because this truck's really awesome. It is not the same body. They did not just copy and paste the Fuel Academy body that we got from Series 30, that one school bus. I was wondering if they were just going to do a modified version of that body, but it looks like an all new body style and all new molding. And yeah, they knocked it out of the park. It looks literally perfect. So good job, Spin Master. So here's the last one. It's leaving everyone questioning how we are getting this. We already got the poster this year. Obviously, looking at the truck, yes, we are getting Wildside, the current reigning World Finals Racing Champion truck. I can't believe we're actually getting this year. I mean, I would assume that we would, and then we saw the poster, no terminal velocity or Wildside. We were all bummed. What I heard is that they swapped the Northern Nightmare that we were getting this year out with Wildside. You can kind of tell, I mean, it's obviously the same pickup truck style body. I don't really know why they scrapped Northern Nightmare. I'm not really, gonna complain, obviously, but knowing that we're gonna have these, or this truck, in our collection in a couple months is very exciting. I just hope that they get to our stores and start showing up everywhere pretty quickly. But obviously this is going to be the second to last mix of the year. We only have one more mix after this year, and that is going to be mix 45, obviously. So we're probably not going to get that in stores until around the holidays, because that's how it usually is, if they are on time, is around Christmas time for the final mix of the year. But they seem to be pretty well on time. We're already on Series 42 at stores, which is the third mix of this year. So that's, halfway through this year's mix, and we're in June, so we're halfway through the year. So they're not doing too bad. I'm trying to find mix 42. It's hard, but man, I cannot believe they're doing Wildside. To me, guys, looking at Wildside, the diecast version looks like it's missing a little something. Personally, I don't know if it may just be missing some color compared to what the real life truck has. That might be what it is. Maybe it doesn't have as many splatter marks. Maybe there's more like, purple and orange and red splatter marks on the real life truck, and that's why it's kind of throwing me off looking at the diecast version. But honestly, who's really going to complain when we weren't even going to get this truck this year? But looking at it, especially from the backside, like the quarter panel, like the tailgate looks so good. I think they did pretty good, but obviously it's not perfect. But with these independent trucks, you can honestly just take what you can get, just like the pink Stone Crusher. It's probably not perfect either. It has pink wheels and part of the Danger Divas, but hey, we at least got it. This isn't Hot Wheels. We can't really expect them to make all the independent trucks in the world like they used to like to do. It seemed like that was one thing I really liked about Hot Wheels. But you know what? At least we're getting it, guys. That was an awesome surprise. I'm sure it was a pleasant surprise for you guys too, seeing that we were getting this. If you guys saw the poster, we were not supposed to. Don't ask me why they're doing this. Nobody knows why they swapped it out. Let's just not ask questions. So a good decision on their part, a good choice to be made, or yeah, I don't know. I think it's good. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and of course subscribe. And let me know what you guys think about this. Obviously, no one's going to be complaining about us not getting a Northern Nightmare this year since we're getting this instead. But let me know what your favorite truck from these mixes are. Can't wait to find these in stores. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Please like, comment, and of course subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.